Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So it's a dark and stormy day here, so I figured it'd be a good day to finally upgrade the lighting inside of this interior for this 2020 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road. So I'm in my garage. I have the garage lights on, which are LEDs, and I have the visor lights on both the driver and the passenger, as well as both map lights and that rear dome light on. Now these are not LEDs in the cab of the 2020 Toyota Tacoma, which kind of shocks me because a lot of newer cars do have the LEDs. They're brighter, they last longer. I mean, there's definitely some benefits to LED over these traditional halogen bulbs. So what I want to show you is a quick install and show you how easy it is, because you can get a kit like this with LED bulbs in it to replace all four of your visor bulbs, both your bulbs in the map reading lights, and then your bulb back in the dome light, and both bulbs on your license plate, and this is under $20. So let's get to the install and see how they look. So I turned the garage lights off just to kind of give you guys a visual of how relatively dark it is. It's not this dark in real life. The camera doesn't do it justice, but the halogen bulbs are definitely not as bright as a modern LED bulb. So I'm curious to see the difference from the camera perspective when we're done with this install. And the back is not much different. I do have the exposure up quite a bit, and it's still kind of hard to see on camera, but these lights just don't give off a whole lot of light. And here are the two lights for your license plate, one on the left and one on the right. So again, camera doesn't really do it justice, but there is not a lot of light, but it's a little bit more than the camera shows. So this is the kit right here. Like I said, it's under 20 bucks on Amazon. I'll put links down below for you. And it comes with pretty much everything you need to do this light kit swap. And it's between the 16 and 19 Toyota Tacoma, but it does include the 2020s and the 2021s. And it's the interior LED lights kit. All right, so it comes in a nice protective bag like this. And you just go and open it up. A little Ziploc. Comes with an install tool. It's kind of like a plastic pry bar. You'll need that. A little safer than using a sharp-edged object, like a knife or something. You don't want to damage anything. Comes with a nice protective sleeve and all of your LED bulbs right there. Also comes with some instructions. It's kind of a basic sheet of paper. Talking about what you have in here. 2 map lights, 4 vanity mirrors, 1 dome, 2 license plates, and an install tool. And then on the back here, they talk about how to actually go in and put these in, but they're pretty simple, easy swap. None of these are really twist in, they're more like pop in, so just to know they're a little bit different than traditional bulbs. And that being said, if you haven't ever seen LED bulbs before, they look very different from your typical living room lamp bulb. Very futuristic looking. Just be very careful with them, but for the most part they are very robust. So let's get to installing. So you don't have to worry about disconnecting your battery at all with these. I mean, they're just kind of low voltage light bulbs, so you don't have to worry too much about that. But to get the vanity lights out, all you have to do is take your pry bar, start on the bottom here, pry it in, and pop out. Now when you pop out, you'll see that there is a clip on the bottom and kind of a insert on the top, and that's kind of how it goes back in as well. Now this comes down and you'll see that there's a little halogen light bulb in there that gets nice and warm, so be careful of that. Now there is a 2-prong system here to hold this in place. 2 prongs on the bottom, 2 prongs on the top, and you want to be very gentle. Use your tool to simply pop this bulb out from the prongs, and there is the little halogen bulb. Okay, now take your new LED bulb, which looks like this, and you have your LED strip on this side, so I have that facing out, and then you can go and push it against the contact. You can see it didn't go on, so flip it around because this should only go one way, and hold it in, and there is the nice bright white. So put pressure on the top and bottom, pop it in, be very gentle, and kind of move it over a little bit to kind of face out so it's not facing a weird crooked way. Take your visor cover and pop it on. You can kind of already tell the difference there, which is very nice. So let's do the same thing for this one real quick. So again, on the bottom here, pry in, pop out. Make sure you catch that there. You can see that's how it goes back in again. Take your pry tool, either the bottom or the top, pop out the old bulb, take the new bulb, you can kind of test it, see which way it goes on. Goes on like that. Try to keep it kind of flush with the visor, and pop it in. Clip it back in. You're good to go. So do the same thing with both bulbs on the passenger or whatever other side you started on for the other visor, and you'll be good to go. Let's do the map lights next. So the bulbs that come with the kit for the map reading lights, as well as the bulbs for the license plate lights, are exactly the same, so don't worry too much about that. So you have 4 bulbs in the kit that are exactly the same, and they're going to go into these 2 here and the 2 license plates in the back. So you're going to need a couple tools to get this job done. You're going to need your pry bar, once again, and you're going to need a little piece of tape. You also have to wait for both of these bulbs to cool down because they're stuck way up in there, and you'll need to use this tape to wrap around, and it's going to be much harder if the bulbs are searing hot and you can't touch them. So just wait a couple minutes for these to cool down, and then put your tape around the bulbs because we're going to use this to pull them out. But first, you can probably go ahead and put your pry bar on the inner portion of either one of these light lenses here, the opposite side of where the click is. So you put it right in here like this, pry in, and then pull straight down. And you'll kind of see how the clips are. You got these 2 pins right here, and then the main pin where the clicking mechanism is stored up in there. And if you look up there, you will see the light bulb in there, and that is the bulb you're going to try to grab out of here. You might be able to use some kind of pliers, but you just got to be really careful. You don't want to bust this bulb all over your seats. So the bulb up here has cooled down just enough. I'm going to take my tape here and see if I can grab onto her. Let's see if this works here. There we go. Just like clockwork. So definitely wait for this to cool down, and there is the bulb. So let's grab the LEDs. Luckily the LEDs have a little bit more to grab onto. Just kind of hold on to the sides of the bulb, and then we're going to put it in there. And let's see if it's the right connecting. There it is. Beautiful, nice and bright. So repeat the same exact step with the other one. So here is the middle dome light. You can kind of see the single bulb in there. So make sure you keep this similar to how you did it with the map light. Turn this off, let it cool down a little bit. And once it's cooled down, there are 2 slots facing towards kind of the front of the truck. 1 slot here, 1 slot here. You're simply going to stick your tool in and pry down on each side. And it should fall right out. And if you look up in there, you'll see the bulb is pinned up in between 2 pieces of metal there, kind of similar to how a battery would be in there. So you take your tool and try to catch the bulb here and pry it out like so. And here is that original bulb. Kind of has 2 pointy ends on it. Now take your new LED bulb and you're going to slide it in. See if it's easy to do with one hand or not. Should be in there. Let's test it out. There you go. Nice and bright. Okay. Then take your cover and go back to front. Kind of the opposite way you did before. and pop her in. There you go. So the back license plate bulbs are definitely probably the trickier ones of all the bulbs to replace. So if you follow along to the left and right of your trailer hitch, you'll find two plugs, one on each side right here, and these up here are connecting to the bulbs. So they're all in the interior of the bumper to kind of protect them, keep it kind of waterproof here. So this right here needs to be turned counterclockwise. If I can get my hand in there. There's not a lot of room in there, so let me see if I can get that twisted here. So I end up getting two hands up in here, and like I said, you twist it maybe about a little less than a quarter turn counterclockwise, and then you pull straight out, and there is your bulb right there. All right, so that's a simple swap here. So you pull this out like so. Grab your new bulb and slide her in, just like that. All right, now you're gonna put it back the way it was in there. Then you put it back in that hole. Let's see if I can line it up with one hand this time. There you go, and turn it clockwise, which I might need two hands for again. So just line it back up, turn it clockwise, make sure it's nice and tight in there again. Now check that out. Same scenario, no garage lights on. All the front lights are on, the two visors on each side, the two map lights. Huge improvement, and it's not overly bright, which is nice. Not too bad in the front here. Then here is the back with that dome light. Again, big improvement. And of course the two tail lights, which were kind of a pain just because they're kind of tucked up in there, but they look awesome. So just looking at what I look like in the camera with the LEDs on for the four visor lights, the two maps, and the dome, huge improvement compared to the halogen when I was trying to film here with the halogen bulbs. I mean, it's much brighter, much more modern, more crisp light inside the truck, especially when you have nice tinted windows like this. You don't get a lot of light in here, so if you need to use your map lights, if you need to use your visor lights, this is a really big improvement, and for under 20 bucks, you can't really go wrong. So again, links on Amazon right down below, guys. If you have any questions at all, hit them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. This is a great project to do on the weekends, on maybe a rainy day or something, and it doesn't cost a whole lot, so definitely a thumbs up in my book. As always, subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up below. It really helps me out. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook for all the latest and greatest deals on the internet, and I'll see you in the next review.